This is Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota, with your closing grain and livestock comments for July 10th, 2016. Corn market today up 9.5 to 10 cents. Soybeans up 23 to 24 cents. Chicago wheat up 15 to 16. Minneapolis up 29 to 30. And Kansas City up 14 cents. Very positive day as you look to the weather trends. We're looking at a 2-week outlook that for North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and parts of western Iowa, we have very little rain on tap here and hot temperatures. So that's a concern mark for the market, and that's why we step forward here with higher tones today here on Monday. The eastern belt, including parts of eastern Iowa, in Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, good rains over the weekend and more to come here over the next 4 to 5 days. So really a tale of two markets remains here. Minnesota did catch some rains overnight last night and has a little more working in here tomorrow night, and we'll see how those unfold. But as we work ahead, we're holding together a pretty good crop in the central eastern areas, but in the kind of the central west areas, maybe not so good. And what's going backwards there is not being offset by what's holding together in the east from our vantage point. We look for crop conditions to maybe deteriorate a little bit, look for a little stronger tone over the next couple weeks, and then kind of set back into a marketing pattern where we hope to build on our corn and soybean marketing as we work ahead. Price counts remain at 415 and then upwards of 443 in corn. And in soybeans, if we can close here around this 1040 mark, which we did today, and maintain it through tomorrow, we may open up some price counts up into that 1090 area. As you look to the cattle markets, feeder cattle down 35 to 80, live cattle down 40 to 95, hog market down 25 to 122.5. We continue to have a story there in feeder cattle where we see cutouts deteriorating. This is typical for this time of year. As you look to kind of the downtrend into summer, we can typically find some traction here in the next 15 days and start to build a little premium into the fall months. So we'll look for cattle to kind of set at least a bottoming tone, but the big part about that's going to be focused on the weights of these cattle. We cannot afford to put the weight back on these or else have a little more of a negative outlook. So for right now, we look for a bottom base, but we'll watch those weights closely. Same thing for hogs. Cutouts have been a little more supportive. Market's chopping around here a little bit, but we continue to be a supply versus demand market where we have stories on both sides and look for a little more choppy action. This has been Jim Emter, Van Ahn & Company, Alexandria, Minnesota. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and is not suitable for all producers. Past performance is not indicative of future results. This is a solicitation.